What, man? I leave for 2 minutes and then you just start making the little teepee there?
Well,
Is that
yeah,
what we're doing?
I think the TP is the best way for a fire to kind of start, you know?
Have you ever even made a fire before? Do you know what you're
Yeah,
talking
with
about?
a bunch of TP.
Oh my gosh. All right. Have you ever even heard of the log cabin?
No, dude, no.
The log cabin is the best technique for making a fire.
Oh my gosh.
Thank goodness you're here.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I was just telling Canty that the teepee build with the wood, where you stack it on each other like that, is way better for a fire.
The log cabin technique is easily the most effective for making a large fire. All right, and that's what we're going to teach you about making a fire today. All right, that's what we're going to go through. That's what we're
Fire master, how about you teach it? Okay?
All right, maybe I will.
I don't even care.
Okay, cool. All right, come on over here, you guys. Jeez.
I thought you were supposed to be best friends.
All right. Let's get rid of this teepee here. So first thing I like to do, I was doing a little bit before, is making a little bit of this kindling. All you need is a hatchet or maybe a knife and a boom whacker. And you get your boom whacker, you put your knife right on here. Remember, always do this with parental supervision or some adult present. And you just thwap the top with your boom whacker. Boom, you got your kindling. You don't want to burn straight up large logs, okay? Then we want to get the base of our log cabin going. Here we go. All right. Carlos, you might want to come on over here too and check this out. Trout. Here we go. We're getting the base. All right.
Okay, nice base.
Yeah, we got the base. And then we're going to get some of these big sticks. Yeah. Larger sticks. Get them in there. The key is to go up in sequential order of largest to smallest. You want the small stuff that's going to burn the easiest at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So you can light it, and then the flames go up and start lighting everything else up. So we got some paper. You know, some people will only use natural objects, but we have the paper here, so why not? Why not go for it? Here we go.
Yeah, I feel like if we were just using TP, we wouldn't have to use this much to start.
That's the last thing I want to hear about the TP, okay, man?
Okay.
Although if this doesn't work, we may have to go for the TP. All right, here we go. We're gonna try lighting it up. The moment of truth. Hey guys, I just want to preface this with, you know, fires don't always start up right away. So let's keep our expectations low. That's important.
Very
you never
low,
want to be
very low with at least a cabin log. Okay. If you're making it out of a cabin.
Oh yeah,
log cabin.
High expectations for the TP.
TP.
Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah.
I like to get a lot of airflow into the fire. That's gonna provide, you know, what we need. Let's get some of that bigger kindling on there. I boom whacked it, so we might as well use it.
Nice, boom whacked.
Look at that.
For me. Pretty cool. Looks like it's happening. We should probably move this other wood a little bit farther away.
Yeah, we don't want to burn the whole forest down. That probably would be a bad look.
Okay.
Oh, I think that the log cabin is doing pretty well right now.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's going up.
Wow. Oh.
So another thing that's important to remember, I didn't really model it very well here, but with a lot of wood, the bark is pretty fire resistant. So you don't really want to get the bark facing towards the fire at the beginning, because it's going to be resistant to that fire.
Nice. Well, look at that log. It's kind of starting to burn and everything. That's pretty good.
All right. Look at that. Can we...
Tell us in the comments if you've ever made a bonfire before and how it went.
Do you prefer the log cabin, the teepee?
Yeah, how about
Which camp are you in?
Solar Steve's wondering why the fanning works.
Ooh,
what does the
that's
fanning
a really
do?
Good one.
So part of what the fire is burning, it needs fuel, right? And it also needs air, so carbon dioxide, which is why we're fanning it, because that's actually what is feeding the fire. It needs to burn that. Hey Trout, would you want to put some of this cardboard in on the other side here?
Yeah.
There we go.
Stephanie says they also prefer the log cabin method.
Stephanie,
Oh, Stephanie.
sounds like you know what you're talking about.
You know what? I think I'm slowly growing on the log cabin. It looks
You
like
are?
it's really working right now.
Carrie also commented that they made a bonfire during their Girl Scout camp.
No way,
Whoa,
Carrie.
that's so awesome. Nice. We have some kindling over there.
Yeah, the fanning is helping. Thanks for helping me with this, Trout.
Yeah.
I feel a little
You know
bad
what?
about how I was acting before.
That was crazy.
You want to do a little compromise here?
Yeah.
I feel like we can maybe get
Oh.
some teepee action going on here
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Just so we both can be happy.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know?
On top of it.
Like onto the sides, you know what
Oh
I mean?
my
So it's like a
gosh.
log cabin with the teepee over it.
That's exactly
Is that
what I needed.
does that make you feel a little better
You know
about
what?
it?
Hey, man.
All right. Well, now that we got our fire going, let's get this stuff out of here. We like you said, we don't want to burn everything down. Cool. All right, you guys.
Let me maybe move this chair.
All right. So, tonight we're gonna have our campfire. We already learned how to start our fire. That's the first thing you need to have a successful campfire. The next thing we need.
I guess we should probably intro ourselves.
Oh yeah, we gotta introduce
Yeah.
ourselves.
So,
I totally forgot.
you want to go first? I'll go first. You go first.
I'm pretty well known around here, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, I'll go first. So, my name is Trout, and man, do I love some campfire. Now, I think for a campfire to be just epic, I need some s'mores,
Check.
probably some ramen. Yeah,
We don't have that tonight, but
But like
yet.
just the solid, we won't cook it. We just like kind of nibble on it.
Like a
outside.
cracker.
Yeah, like a cracker. And then I think the night sky is really what I need. Yeah.
Ooh yeah.
What about you?
I'm in the same boat there. Need the s'mores. Maybe I like to put banana and marshmallows and chocolate in like a tinfoil boat and make that. You can comment and let us know if you've ever made one of those before. It's my favorite thing to do in a campfire.
Wow,
Super
that's really
tasty.
boring.
Yeah, I know.
I think
we
it's
did a
because we
good job.
compromised.
We combined both of them. It looks like we have a comment. Come on in here. Comment, Lady
Such
Totally
a
Agree.
cool story from Jude out there. Jude says one time they went camping and they found a stick so big that they broke it into little pieces and could make a whole fire out of it.
Wow.
Wow.
One stick?
Pretty epic.
That is pretty epic. Well, my name is Chanterelle. Like I said, I love campfires. I love making s'mores and making those banana boats. We got some fun stuff planned for tonight. We're gonna learn a lot about stars. We're gonna sing some songs, maybe get some skits and some stories, action-packed for tonight. The first thing that we want to do is
Well, we made
sing
the fire,
Yeah, we made the fire.
and now we need song.
Songs.
Song.
Oh.
Oh,
Songs are the
I
next
thought
one.
we were gonna
Cool,
say it
cool,
at the
cool.
same time.
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
did too. I was a second behind you there.
Okay.
We have a song about stars for you. It's a real sweet one. All right. We can get our other naturalists to come on up behind here.
Oh, wants to sit that way. Okay.
Cool. Speak up. All right.
Count.
Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. I'd like to rest my heavy head tonight on a bed of California stars. I like to rest my weary bones tonight on a bed of California stars. I like to spend a week outside, let loose to roam. Run like a butterfly, take a boat walk into the night underneath the California stars. I like to thank the things that brought me here, like my teachers, my parents, and even my fears. I like to let go of all that holds me down underneath my California stars. I like to look my friends right in the eye. I like to thank them for the ways that they made me fly. I like to sing
she says I like to stay here for 2,000 years underneath my California stars. I like to dream my troubles away on a bed of California stars. Jump out my cabin and make a brand new day underneath my California stars. Now that you've spent your week outside, and when you look back, you'll let out the big sigh, and you'll always know you can change the world underneath the California stars. Nice.
Great exit.
So like I said, oh, I don't need this anymore. Let me skip this over here. Okay. Like I said, oh man, you know, Shanty is really big into making flyers. Now, I am not too big in making flyers. I usually come back when the fire's already made. But I do really like the other thing, which is s'mores that come from fire. So I have these nice graham crackers, and I have marshmallows. Sorry, we don't have the budget to get chocolate, but that's okay. We'll have it right off on the side. And you know what? I think someone that would really love to have a s'more right now is Lady Nightshade. So maybe Lady Nightshade, are you around? Hello, Trout. How are you doing? Good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, it's a fine afternoonish evening time.
Yeah. It's pretty nice out.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like, we got the
beautiful.
fire started before it became night and everything.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
it's a
it's
good
roaring,
fire
yeah.
too. I like
It's
the
really
log cabin. Very nice.
What about the
Oh, cheapies.
cheese, right? Okay. Well, you want to make a s'more?
Sure.
Nice. So I think how we're gonna do this is we're gonna have a naturalist come up and maybe give you a few rules about how to make it. Like they're gonna tell
Okay.
you what you're gonna do.
Okay.
And you're gonna try to make that s'more. Have you ever had a s'more before?
I think so.
You think so? Maybe like
Yeah.
long
Yeah,
time. ago?
sure. Yeah, at some point.
Now,
Probably. Yeah.
Everybody back at home, whenever you want to, you can comment down maybe a rule that you're having, and you can write it down, and maybe Lady Nightshade will try to do it. So that'd be like maybe like sticking the marshmallow into the fire or anything like that. Okay. So do we have maybe our first naturalist? We have all the stuff right here.
Okay, great.
Here, I'll
Ooh.
give you
It's like a cooking show. I like this.
yeah, it's kind of like a cooking show.
Cool.
I'll give you the better stick. Here,
Yeah,
here's the
Okay.
stick.
Okay.
Oh, we have Poppy. Poppy, come on up.
Yeah.
Hello, Poppy.
Hi, Lady Nightshade.
Okay. What am I gonna do, Poppy?
All right. Step 1. Grab the marshmallow.
Okay, I'll grab a marshmallow.
Yep. And put it right on the stick.
Right on the stick. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put
Get
it
it on
right
there. You don't want it falling off.
on the stick.
Whoa,
Right
whoa.
on the stick.
Oh,
On the
oh,
stick.
oh, wait.
On
Oh,
the-
stop,
What?
stop.
What?
Wow.
I'm doing what
okay.
you told me to do. I'm putting it on
Yeah.
the stick, all
Oh,
over it.
man.
All
wow.
over the stick.
Okay, you can.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
That's great.
Hey,
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll
Okay.
work.
I did exactly what you told me to do.
Yeah.
maybe I'll eat this marshmallow.
Oh,
and then you
okay.
can eat. You can do this one. Maybe
Is
you have
this-
a comment.
Carrie recommends you make the.
Stick, like,
Yeah, right
like,
there.
like this.
A little bit more.
Oh,
A little bit. A little. No, that's okay.
So
Real
like
Spice
dirt,
Club.
Yeah,
top of the
Spice
stick,
Club.
top of the stick, like that.
A little bit more. Just like.
Like
Oh,
a little bit
that's
more,
a
you
lot
mean?
of stuff.
A little more of that you said.
Yeah,
More
a
of what
little
I was
bit
doing.
farther.
Okay, more of what I was doing. Oh,
No. Like go all the way through. Here.
all the way through.
I'll just show you with my stick, okay? Like you're just gonna put it right here at the top.
Oh, okay, I get you now. Perfect, like that.
All right, so Lady Nightshade is ready. Can I have another naturalist come up? Oh, we have Twig. Twig, go for it.
Next order of business, you gotta grab a graham cracker.
Okay, I'll grab a graham cracker.
Gotta break it in half.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Here. That's okay. That's okay.
That's
How about
really
we
not
put
what
it-
I meant.
Okay, I'll
Put
put
on that.
Oh, okay,
no.
okay. I'll grab a graham cracker.
Yeah, now
and
you break it
said
in
put
half.
break it in half. Okay.
Yeah, break. No! You're supposed to break in half hamburger style. That's not
Hamburger
that
style.
Here,
Okay.
you can put that cracker right
Okay,
here. I'll eat that
right
cracker.
there.
Don't worry.
Okay, grab a cracker. Hamburger style, like that.
That's looking pretty good.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, you can set that back on here.
Now it's all
Perfect.
ready for you to
Awesome.
go.
I'll
Cool.
just take all of these.
Do
I
we
think
have-
these can be useful.
Do we have
somehow.
another comment? What we
We
should
have
do
a
now?
comment from Gary. Gary. The snail?
Gary!
Lady Nightshade, Gary thinks you need to put it deep in the fire so that it gets crispy.
Deep in the fire.
In the fire.
Okay.
No.
Like that?
Lady
Oh my
Nightshade.
I put it in the fire.
That deep. Okay, here, you can have this one, I guess.
Okay, I'll use this one now.
And then, oh, that looks
Save it.
pretty good.
Just
Yeah.
couple
Okay.
of coals in there.
I think we have another comment coming
I'm
in.
gonna eat that one.
Lucy thinks you should eat it before it's golden and give the burnt stuff to Dad.
Okay, eat it.
Eat it before it's golden? Okay.
Oh, okay.
All caps above the fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Now listen to Kyle.
That looks pretty good.
Just above the fire.
Give the
above
burnt
fire.
stuff
Above
to
the
Dad.
fire?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that looks great.
Nice job.
And I'll
Lady
just put this
Nightshade.
here.
No, grab it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, you know what? I think this is. We have a few more comments.
Melissa says you want to cook it just so it melts.
Just so it melts.
It's a little
Cook it
melty.
till it
That one looks
starts
pretty
melting,
melted, I
okay.
think.
Yeah, that looks pretty melted. You know what?
It's a little over melted to me.
I think we gotta just scale. I mean, Lady Nightshade.
Scale.
Lady Nightshade. Lady Nightshade. Can you just make a s'more, please?
Yeah, sure.
What?
Use that other one.
Oh my.
I'll
Oh,
hold
this
the stick. I'll
so
hold
hard.
the stick. I'll hold the stick.
Oh,
Start over.
Wow, that looks really tasty.
I have a recommendation from Amita, which might be easier for Lady Nightshade. Amita thinks that you can make your own s'mores in your own house using a tea light. So even if you don't have a backyard, Amita did this yesterday, and she made a s'more on the tea light, and maybe that would be easier for you, Lady Nightshade.
Wow.
And for our students who don't have a backyard with a fireplace.
Also, my favorite way to eat s'mores are actually in the oven. You put the graham cracker in with the marshmallow on top, let it roast for like 2 minutes, take it out, put the chocolate on, graham cracker right on top, you have yourself a s'more. It's perfect.
Whoa. Lady Nightshade.
So you were trying to make me make a s'more the whole time?
A s'more. I told you that.
Why
I
didn't
think
you
in
just
the
say so? I know how to make
I
that.
think it was in the beginning.
Oh, I just completely forgot. It just sort of blanked down my head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was that s'more good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. You owe me a new pair of gloves, though.
I will get right on that. Yeah, I'll get.
You're
get
never
right on
gonna
it.
do it.
All right. Well, thank you, Lady
Of course I
Nightshade.
have
Let's say
magic.
goodbye to Lady Nightshade.
See you,
Goodbye.
Lady Nightshade. Thanks a whole bunch.
Alyssa wants to know if a grill would work on
Oh,
here.
Yes.
absolutely, you could use a
Hey,
grill.
that was a new comment lady.
Comment friend.
Man, wasn't that crazy, Shane?
What an odyssey, yeah. Now
Yeah.
we can finally enjoy our campfire, huh?
Yeah.
Some slow s'mores.
Oh.
Well, tonight, you guys, we're gonna tell you a little bit about the stars. What's up?
I was gonna say how's the weather?
The weather?
Pretty good.
Clear sky. Thanks for asking,
I
man.
need something else to talk about, I think. A story!
Oh,
a
yeah,
story!
yeah,
Oh
a story.
my
Cool,
gosh,
cool,
a
cool, cool.
story.
Yeah.
And, man, what kind of stories would you want to tell around a campfire? It is kind of getting dark out, right?
It is, yeah, for sure. And sky's getting dark. Maybe the stars are coming out, so we could probably talk about those.
Yeah, we should talk about those stars. So, today we are going to give you a few different stories about constellations. And we're going to actually have some of the naturalists come up with some skits. But before we talk about that, we need to talk about night sky that, you know.
What even
where-
is it, man?
Yeah, what
I
are
don't
these
know.
constellations? What is this night sky that's above us?
Tell me about it. What do
So,
you know?
the science behind the night sky is called astronomy. Astronomy is pretty much when it's all about the universe, space, and celestial objects. So anything that's in outer space. And there are tons of things that we can see with our naked eyes. And one of the things that we see during the night sky are stars. And so with those stars, they're just pretty much these lights that we see in the sky. But if we were light years and light years and light years away, farther and closer up to it, it would look just like our sun. Yeah, the sun. That's kind of setting pretty soon, yeah. And so we have the star right next to us that we orbit around. And that pretty much during the daytime takes over all the sky and light throughout the day. And that's why we can't see that night sky, that stars all over around our galaxy. But as soon as the Earth turns away from it, from our part, so maybe North America, right? It's turned away from the sun, we start seeing that night sky, and we get to see all the luminous of those stars.
Cool.
And that's not just it in the night sky.
There's more.
There's more.
Sweet.
We have the moon. Oh, we have a picture of the moon.
Sweet. Oh, nice. No campfires complete.
You can
without
see
one of
right
those.
here that there's all the phases of the moon. Goes all the way through. Awesome. There's also several planets that we can see with our naked eye. Do you know what's up?
Yeah, man. Venus.
Venus is what's up. So we have Venus right here. Venus. Now this looks exactly like a star when you look up it with your naked eye, but luckily we have astronomers that take really great pictures with their telescopes. And now, what's really cool is that if you live in a place where there's not that much light pollution, just like how I was telling how the sun blocks out the night sky.
Yeah, you can't see those stars during the day.
Yeah, you can't see them during the day. They're still there. You just can't see them because our star, the sun, is blocking it out with all that light. Now, if you live somewhere like maybe in San Mateo County, like San Mateo or Daly City, closer to San Francisco, or maybe like Redwood City. What's far past Redwood City? Palo Alto.
Palo Alto,
Getting
yeah.
closer to San Jose, right? Maybe you won't be able to see as much night skies, but if you live somewhere like Pescadero, Half Moon Bay, or La Honda, maybe you'll be able to see more of those stars. And if you get to go anywhere like a national park or anything, maybe you'll even get to see something like this. Now this is the Milky Way. This is our galaxy. It's pretty amazing.
Cool. The Milky Way. Milky Way.
Oh, okay.
Carlos, Trout. That's pretty cool stuff, like all that science and everything. But my favorite part about the stars is not actually the science, but it's about history. So pretty much, like anywhere in the whole world, if you're looking up at the sky, you're looking up at the same night sky. And thousands of years ago, the first people to ever look up at the stars are looking up at the exact same ones that we see right now, which is pretty sweet. So it sort of connects us to the past.
No way.
Yeah, it's sort of like the oldest tradition in the entire human race is looking up at the sky and like telling stories, making up stories, and listening to stories. So I figured tonight, maybe we could tell some stories about constellations that we see up in the sky.
Cool.
Yeah.
But can you tell me a little bit more about the constellation itself?
Oh, like what a constellation is?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. A constellation is like a picture in the sky. If you connect some certain stars, you can actually see different shapes, and people throughout time have seen all these cool different shapes up in the sky.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe like this?
Yeah, like these cool things that we made.
Yeah.
Trout and I had a crafting day the other day.
We had a
all
crafting day,
together.
and we made this constellation called Orion. And so if you look right here, you can see Orion's belt, and then you can see the body of Orion. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Here, check it out. We put it over the camera. We poked these holes so you can actually see the shape on here of the constellation. And these are things that you guys can actually make at home. And later on tonight, we'll show you how we made these. So maybe you can make them in the shape of your favorite constellation. Now, Trout, I really, really want to hear that story you always tell about the one about the bears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But do you mind if I show
Yeah.
all the students the constellations that you're going to be talking about? This is my favorite story that Trout tells, and it's about these two constellations. You might know them as the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. But in Greek mythology, they're actually bears, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. And Trout's going to tell us the story of how they got up into the sky.
I think the best way that we can do this is by pulling some of our world-renowned actors, aka naturalists, out. So can I have someone that would like to play maybe my Zeus? Yeah, Zeus right over here. Come on over to
Where
the
we
side.
start? I got a comment
Nice.
from Jen. She was wondering why, if solar systems are constantly changing, how can you see the same thing?
Wow. That is mind-boggling. Wow. So, yeah. I actually don't know if I have the answer. Did you hear that question?
Yeah. If solar systems are constantly changing, how are we still seeing the same things?
Yeah.
Well, the things that we're looking at up in the sky are like crazy far apart, super far away. So even though they're moving really fast, we might not be able to like even see that movement just because they're so far away. It's pretty cool. And they take a long time to move around. Looks like Zeus is ready to go here.
Cool.
I love the beard.
So we have Zeus, the god of all gods, and he comes down to Earth and becomes and acts like a person. So he zaps himself into a person. Nice. And so he's just roaming around, acting like a person with a cool jacket, and he sees someone. He sees Callisto. Does anybody want to be Callisto? Oh, we have Callisto coming up. It's Callisto. And Zeus falls in love with Callisto.
I love you.
And Callisto falls in love with Zeus. Now, Callisto does not know that it is Zeus at this whole time. And they fall in love, and they actually have a baby named Arceus. And so, during that time, no one knew, but Zeus had another wife. Hera! Can I have Hera come on up? And Zeus ran away as soon as he heard. Zeus, run away, run away. And so, Hera comes, and she sees that Zeus has fallen in love with another girl, and turns Callisto into a bear.
Mom!
And Hera goes away. Now, because she's a bear, Arceus grows up with a new family and becomes this huge, amazing hunter. And the whole time, Callisto is a bear trying to find her son.
Baby, where are you?
And while Arceus is becoming an adult, he becomes a really great hunter. And one day, their paths cross. They see each other. Now, Arceus only sees the bear as a bear, and Callisto only sees her son as Arceus. And she starts running over to him to give him a hug, but then Arceus strikes her down. Now, Zeus was watching this the whole time and was so sad that this has happened. That Arceus went off. Yeah, great. No, great. Zeus comes down and was like, you know what? I can't believe this happened. I need to make sure that they are famous for the rest of their lives.
I'm gonna make you famous.
So Zeus grabs Callisto's tail, the short bear tail, and starts to whip it around in the air, and throws it into the sky.
Whoa.
Creating the Big Dipper that we see in the night sky. Now, during that whole time, Hera was watching the whole thing, and Zeus went away. Hera saw the whole thing and saw Arceus and was like, no way, Jose. Turns Arceus into a bear. And then decides to throw her up into the sky too. So he grabs, throws it up into the sky, and that creates the Little Dipper.
My baby.
And so that's what's the story of the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a crazy story?
You know what's so cool about that is that's Alyssa's favorite constellation is the bear. And Lucy has Draco the dragon as her favorite. And Natalia is Scorpius. And people were wondering why did people use constellations in the olden days?
Oh, that's a great question. A lot of times, in the olden days, people would use constellations to find their way around because the constellations come up in the same spot every single time. And what's even cooler is that scientists nowadays still use the constellations to find their way around, except this time they use them to find their way in the sky. Map out the sky with the constellation so they know what they're looking at. Pretty sweet. I have another story that we could do.
That story?
That one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. We could do that one. One thing that I do want to say is that it's another Greek mythology story, and what is classic in all the Greek mythology stories is at the end, everyone gets thrown up into the sky. Like the bears got tossed up there. Just wait for it. Everyone's going to get thrown up in the sky.
Spoiler alert.
But Greek mythology isn't the only culture that came up with constellation stories. We'd love to hear any constellation stories that you know, whether they're from Greek mythology or from any other cultures, maybe even your own culture. That'd be super cool. I love learning new constellation stories. So you can comment those. Yeah, come on in.
You know what's so cool that Brianna realized about your guys' story about the bears is that it was a really happy ending because the bears ended up together in the sky. So sweet.
My baby.
Such a good guy.
All right. So this next story here, I'll show you guys the constellation, or one of the constellations for this one. It's a story about Cassiopeia. Her constellation is sort of like a W in the sky because she's sitting in a chair in her constellation. And it just so happens that I need someone to play Cassiopeia in this next story. Come on up. You want to help her?
Come on over this way.
All right. So the story's about Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia was the queen of an ancient land known as Ethiopia. All right. The ancient Greeks didn't really know where actual Ethiopia was, so everywhere in like southern Africa, they just called it Ethiopia. So it's this mystical land that the ancient Greeks would talk about. Cassiopeia is the queen. She has a husband named Cepheus, or Cepheus. And Cepheus ruled over the land with Cassiopeia. Now, everything was happy in this land that they ruled over, and they even had a beautiful daughter named Andromeda. And, oh, she was so pretty. Yeah. Andromeda, wow. One of the most beautiful ladies in all the land, maybe even to have ever lived. Everything was super great, except that there was this weird thing that Cassiopeia would do. She was super pretty too, and she loved to brag about it. And that's all she would do all day, is just brag about how pretty she was. And tell everybody. And no one's gonna call her out on it because she's the queen, so she just totally gets away with it the whole time. And she even talks about how her daughter is the most beautiful lady too. They're just like, oh my gosh, they're all so beautiful, it's crazy. And it's all fine until one day, Cassiopeia makes a grave mistake, and she actually brags that she's more beautiful than the water nymphs. Oh my gosh. The water nymphs. The water nymphs. The water nymphs. Yeah, come on up. And the water nymphs, they're so furious. They're like, this mortal lady, this human, is going to brag that she's more beautiful than us? Nuh-uh. And those water nymphs, they dip out and they go and see Poseidon, the god of the ocean. all right? And they talk to Poseidon. And they say, hey, Poseidon, guess what? Cassiopeia has totally been saying that she's more beautiful than us, and we're not cool with it at all, and we're really mad. And Poseidon goes, whoa, ladies, I'm already on it, all right? And at that moment, Poseidon had already sent out a giant sea monster to go and ravage the land of Ethiopia. Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly. All right, it's sending all these giant waves, it's grabbing boats, it is chaos in Ethiopia. And guess who has to deal with it? The king and queen, Cassiopeia and Cepheus, right? And they're like, what do we do? Oh my gosh, this is crazy, what's going on? Ah! They don't know how to deal with this, but Cepheus has an idea. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go visit the Oracle. The Oracle's like this person that just like can sort of see the future, and they give them advice, okay? So they go see the Oracle. Cepheus is talking to the Oracle and is like, hey, listen, here's the deal. The sea monster has really been messing stuff up. We want to get rid of it. Yeah, it's crazy. What do we do? And the Oracle is like, the only way to get rid of the sea monster is to sacrifice your daughter Andromeda.
Don't do it.
And Cepheus is like, oh my gosh. So he leaves the Oracle leaves. Cepheus is like, oh my gosh, how am I going to break this news to Cassiopeia? So he goes up to Cassiopeia, and it's like, Cassiopeia, he looks deep into her eyes, his loving wife, and he says, Cepheus says to Cassiopeia, we need to sacrifice our daughter Andromeda. It is the only way. And Cassiopeia looks at him back in the face without even blinking an eye and goes, okay. And they do it! They totally do it! And they grab her and they bring her and they chain her to a rock by the ocean, and they just leave her there waiting for the sea monster to come and eat her. And the sea monster's out at sea, and it looks over and it's like, oh my gosh, look at that Andromeda lady. Oh, she's so pretty, I'm gonna eat her. Looks over, and this, guys, this is why it's my favorite constellation story. This is where it gets totally crazy. Have you ever heard of Percy Jackson before?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, those books are pretty cool. They're based off of a person named Perseus. All right, he's a super cool guy. He does all these tasks, and he happens to be flying by on the back of a winged horse by the name of Pegasus. They come on in, they're flying by, and just at the perfect moment, Perseus stops mid-flight, looks over, sees Andromeda, and guys, this is where Greek mythology might lead you astray. We're going to pause this scene for a moment because this is not how real love works, okay? Perseus looks at Andromeda from miles away and says, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, I'm going to fall in love with her. That's not how life works, you guys. They don't even know if they have chemistry or anything like that. They haven't even talked to each other. How would they know if they're going to be in love? Okay, that's a flaw in this story. I still like the story. So just keep that in mind, okay? Perseus looks over at Andromeda, falls in love immediately, sees the sea monster, and is like, oh my gosh, I got to go save her. And here's the thing, you guys. Perseus has Medusa's head in his bag. So he whips out Medusa's head. And does anyone know what happens when you look at Medusa in the eyes? Yeah.
You turn to stone.
You turn to stone, all right? So Perseus flies in with Medusa's head, whips it out of the bag, shines it right in to the sea monster's face. Boom, sea monster turned to stone. Day saved. Perseus scoops up Andromeda, takes her back to the castle, and they talk to Cassiopeia and Cepheus. It's a big party. Everybody gets saved, and everyone's happy at the end of the story. Andromeda and Perseus live happily ever after, except there are a few people that are not super psyched about this ending.
Me.
Well, the sea monster turned to stone. Who else might be upset at this story? Anybody know?
The gods.
Poseidon and the water nymphs. Oh, they're so mad. So, Poseidon, at the end of the day, when everybody has lived out their lives, to punish Cassiopeia, he grabs her, throws her up into the sky, where she has to be forever, which sounds pretty cool, and he throws up all of those other characters into the sky. They're all constellations: Pegasus, Perseus, all the other ones, Cepheus. They're all constellations, but Cassiopeia is in a chair in her constellation, right? And for half the year, because the constellations move across the sky, she actually has to be upside down in her chair. And
Commit.
I don't know. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody upside down in a chair before. If you've like hung upside down in the monkey bars, it's really hard to be beautiful when all the blood's rushing to your face and your clothes are all flapping everywhere. Your face is all red. So that is her punishment for half the year. Sorry, Cassiopeia. That's the end. I would love to hear some of your guys' stories that maybe you thought of. Did anybody comment about some stories about constellations? I'd love to hear those comments.
Wow. Well, I don't know how to go after that story, but Jen was wondering, is Andromeda a galaxy or a solar system?
Pretty.
I'll leave you on that.
There is an Andromeda galaxy, and I think you can actually, if it's like really dark, you can actually see the galaxy Andromeda.
Doesn't it look just like a smudge
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
night sky?
It's like a light smudge.
Like when you accidentally put your finger on the window in your car and you're like, oh no.
Or in your case, when you do it on purpose and try to write your name on the inside of my car windows all the time.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. All
Lucy
right.
really loved the story. Said it was great.
Lucy, thanks, Lucy.
Thanks, Lucy.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
man.
All right.
Barbara too.
Yeah, that
Barb.
was crazy.
All right. I think now is the time where we get you guys going a little bit in terms of making crafts, because Trout and I had such a good time making these constellation tubes, and they're super useful when you want to point out constellations to other people, and you don't they don't know where they are, right, or what shape they are. So you can have them look through, see those constellations, and see the shape, and then you can point it out in the actual sky.
Yeah.
Right?
So how about we bring this over here?
Yeah. Let's do that. Bring that over.
Bring
And
that
we'll
over.
get this going.
And then you can like build it all up.
Yeah, so the most important part, everything else is just for show, pretty much, except for when you put the cover on your constellation thing. If you guys can come up with a clever name for this craft, I would love to hear it. That sounds better than constellation tube, because that's what I've been calling them. I feel like star tube maybe. I'd love to hear some of those. Those things. We have some tape coming through. Yeah, we got tape somewhere.
I lost the tape. I have a rubber band.
So all you got to do is you just make those cuts in the side of your paper so you can get it all taped up over here. And then you just fold them on over. Sounds like we might have some comments.
This is really cool. I did
Yeah.
just want to add that Brianna
we got the
said,
tape.
great story. Cassiopeia kind of deserved to go into the sky because she was okay with sacrificing her daughter, which is super, super mean.
Dude, right? That's how I feel.
Super mean? Super.
She is super mean.
Whatever. Bye.
So you just tape on those little parts. I like to make the cuts so it looks a little nicer on the outside. You can just fold up each piece at a time.
Elena said you can call it a star scope.
Dude!
Oh,
all right,
my
Elena, that is
gosh.
the content that we need. A star scope.
Oh my gosh.
I like that. All right, so we're just taping this up all the way around. And take your time.
Myers recommends you call it a star scope.
Star scope. Nice. Nice. I mean,
Now, if you don't
star
have
scope's a pretty good
tape,
name.
you can always use a rubber band too to wrap around it.
Yeah, you can definitely use a rubber band. Tape a little more for the long term, but in a pinch, rubber band's the way to go. Like if you're out at a campfire, like we are right now. Tape sometimes gets lost. Nice. Oh, it's coming together. I'm pumped about this one. I'd love to take a suggestion about what constellation we should make this star scope into.
Ooh, that's
I
a really
heard
good one.
Draco already, and some of these other constellations you guys have been shouting out.
What's Scorpio?
Scorpio was one, cool.
Another one of those
Lucy
signs.
thinks you should call it a star cylinder.
Whoa.
Star cylinder. Wow.
These are pretty good names. So once we're finished here,
Draco?
Draco. All right, that's 2 votes for Draco. So the idea, you guys, is you just have the construction paper on the end here. And I actually, good thing I didn't forget this. I brought some pokies. Perseus.
Delphinus.
Oh, Delphinius, the dolphin.
What about the sea monster?
Leo.
Cellini.
All right.
Oh, you got a second vote for Perseus from Gary.
Ooh, cool. Well, I heard Draco to start, so that's what I'm going to go with. What's really cool is that we have the Big Dipper with us right here, and Draco actually sort of winds his way through the Big Dipper and around a little bit from those 2 dippers, because Draco is a serpent. All right, so let's go ahead and poke some of those holes. I don't know the exact constellation. You probably want to look at a picture when you're doing it. I'm just going to freelance it and poke some holes.
Nice. Wait, not that hole. Oh. I'm just kidding. Keep going. Yeah.
What a jokester you
That's
are.
a good one.
So
A little bit
let's
to the
look
left, a little bit left. Okay,
Here?
there, right there. Okay, yep.
Cool. And then it's really just a big snake body, and then a little head like that. Yeah,
Nice.
that's sort of like Draco there. Like I said, that's not actually the shape exactly, but
Let's see what it looks like.
pretty
in,
good, yeah. Let's see.
Let's
what we
maybe
got here.
put it the other way.
Oh, yeah.
We can show them what Draco looks like, or what we think it looks like.
That's so cool.
Nice, yeah. So these things are pretty sweet, especially for a rainy day.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Ooh, sorry.
Thanks.
Got that one.
All right, you guys. I'd love to see in the comments if you guys end up making these for some constellations. I'd love to see some pictures. Maybe decorate them a little bit like we have ours here. Pretty cool.
Now, that's not the only activity that you can do. Those are for like rainy days, maybe a cloudy night. Maybe you do live in a place that has a lot of light pollution. But if you live somewhere where you can maybe see the Big Dipper, Cassiopeia, Venus, anything like that,
That's
you
what's
can
up.
go ahead. That is what's up, man.
Yeah.
That is what's up. So you could just go out and stargaze. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our naturalists go out, and they brought their favorite things to go and stargaze. We're going to just show you what you're going to do. You can just kind of lay down in your porch, your backyard, maybe your front yard. Maybe you can just kind of walk outside and just look up into the night sky. And there's a bunch of cool websites that you can use to actually look at all the different constellations. So I think all the naturalists are ready. Let's go grab this camera. And
Definitely want to make sure you stay comfy when you're stargazing. That's pretty important. And something else that I love to do.
Lucy had a question. Could you use different colored paper for the constellation tubes?
Creative genius.
I think black paper probably works the best, just because it blocks out all the other light. But really, you could use any paper.
Yeah. Darker
Like a
colors
dark
are
color would
preferred,
be better,
but any of them work.
Totally works.
Awesome. How about we let Cholo, we'll just grab this camera, right, from you?
Yeah.
And you can get comfy too. Let's see. Oh! Yeah, just like one or two people. Wow, Hazel, you brought sunglasses to your stargazing party.
It really helped me see the stars so much better.
Wow. Yeah, I bet.
Amazing.
I guess. I don't know. Cool. They are pretty bright.
Okay, and we have Poppy with a mushroom?
It's a telescope.
Oh, it's a telescope
It
mushroom.
really looks like a
Yeah,
mushroom.
you can't see it,
Oh.
but there's actually a hole I can see the stars through.
And then Cholo killing it, brought a pillow pretty much
In case it floods, I get
in
it.
case it floods.
Floaty.
Let's go back here. Oh, a blanket. Perfect.
And I have an app on my phone that lets me know what stars are in the sky because I don't know the stars as well as you do.
Nice. Awesome. Oh, I think Soleil has won it. What is that?
This is my stuffed elephant, Juniper. Just so, like, in case I fall asleep while I'm stargazing, you know?
Awesome. You know what? Always bringing a friend even during these lonely times, right?
So one thing that Trout and I love to do when we stargaze is to actually make up stories by looking up at the stars. And I think it's really cool to do that because that's what our ancestors did when they were looking up at the stars. And I think we should ask some of our naturalists to come up with some of their own stories.
Millipede, it looks like you're getting the right angle with that foam pad. Do you have a story for us?
Yeah, I'm seeing this star, might be there, and it kind of looks like, I'm seeing like muscle knots right there, and then I'm just seeing all of the knots in my back in the stars, and I think that they're just getting bigger. And they just get bigger and bigger, and so when I foam roll, the stars actually change as I massage out my stars. I might be imagining the stars, they might be there, I'm not really sure.
Nice. That's a good story.
We'd love to hear in the comments some of your own stories that maybe you have about the stars or about some of your favorite constellations.
Yeah.
So Brianna would just like to tell Lady Nightshade she's so funny and she wishes she could meet her.
Oh my god! I'd love to meet
Nice. Colibri, what do you have going on over here?
Oh, just Pippin the penguin and I always bring them stargazing. You know,
Oh.
Pippin really loves the night sky.
Nice.
And tonight we're checking out some special formations. I'm noticing a giant ice cream cone made of stars and a slingshot, and the ball of ice cream is being slung from the cone straight onto a hippopotamus's nose, right, Pippin? Can you see that?
Yeah.
And it splatted right on the nose, and then it bounced off, and guess what it turned into? A penguin.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all I can see up there right now, but I think there might be some more stars coming out right now.
That's amazing. That's a really great story.
Thanks, Trout.
So we're going to all come back together at the campfire.
Now these are things that you can do right at home. You can make, you can use all that toilet paper rolls, and you can just make with some scrap paper, some of your constellation scopes. Is that what we call it? Star scope?
Star scopes,
Star tubes?
star cylinders.
Star
Trackers?
circle. And also you can just go stargazing. Go ahead and head outside. Turn off, your front porch light, your back light. Look up and look at that night sky. It's really awesome.
You can think about all those people throughout time that have done the same exact thing and looked up at those stars. You can even come up with your own stories, and we'd love to hear them in the comments. Some of your own stories about the stars.
Now, should we do the outdoor school song?
Yeah.
So we started this week with me and Hazel, and Hazel and I, and we sang the first outdoor school song, and now we're gonna sing the second one where it kind of ends. Since this is our last campfire together, and we have only one more session with you guys, let's get the naturalists up. Let's get going, right?
All right, let's do it.
All right. You guys ready back there?
Never saw the stars so bright. Our naturalists are a heck of sight. The redwood trees reach amazing heights. A week outside will make you feel alright. Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright.
It's the last day of outdoor school. We hope you had a lot of fun and come back as a cabin leader. Go home to your friend and me. Tell them all that you have learned
About nature.
the stars so bright. Our cabin leaders are heck at sight. The redwood trees reach amazing heights. A week outside will make you feel alright. Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. We've gone on hikes both far and near. If you were quiet, you might have seen some deer. When you go home, you might feel sad, but you can't wait to see your mom and dad. Forever saw the stars so bright. Our cabin leaders are heck at sight. The redwood trees reach amazing heights. A week outside will make you feel alright. Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright.
When you go home, you'll watch TV, take a bath or eat candy. But don't forget what you now know, that planet Earth is your home.
Thank you, all the naturalists. Get some warm fuzzies to them. I think, Shanty, I have to tell them. Can I tell them?
Yeah, go for it.
We've been pulling a prank on you guys the whole time because we don't actually have
What?
That was fake hair.
No way!
That was supposed to be a trick?
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Fooled them.
Hey, I hope you all had a great time here with our campfire, and I hope you learned a new way of maybe making a fire or making marshmallows.
They really did. Eugenia wants everyone to know thank you for doing this. Since Corona hit and they can't be here, they are thankful.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying this was the best night and the best week ever of outdoor ed.
Thank you so much. Now, we do have one more session at 9:30, and it is with...
At 10?
Oh, at 10, I'm sorry.
10 o'clock. Tomorrow?
Learn about some insects tomorrow.
Friday.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Learn how to catch some bugs.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Is this tomorrow?
Friday,
Tomorrow.
April 24th.
Yay.
Nice. Other than that, I hope you guys maybe go out and maybe look at your stars. Oh, we have a sheet for that somewhere. We could have made a mess of everything.
It's all right about the sheet, but
That's
make sure
okay.
you go out, look up at the stars. You can do it tonight, just right outside your door. You might even be able to see the Big Dipper. Look for Orion, some of those constellations that we saw, and come up with your own stories about the stars too. Maybe even find some of your own constellations.
Now, we have a song that we've been doing. Oh, remember to slime on! We have a song coming up, the song that we've been singing every night, to end the campfire, so hope you like it.
Make sure to submit words that you want us to sing.
Yeah, submit words that you want to sing. Thank you, Tyke.
You gotta humble yourself.